At ease, brothers. Man, I got a very good question on a video I made the other day, man. The other day I made a video called She's Feeding Off of You, talking about how a lot of women can feed off of a man's essence and really do other things with that energy. On that video, man, brother named Graphication asked a very good question. He said, this is a very bleak message, all things considered. My question would be, what are we supposed to do if we're neither to sleep with a woman nor to let her into our world? Rub one off? Stay celibate? There's no guideline or answer I can find for my question in this video. What am I missing? And I said, to brother Graphication, great question. I'll make a video. So today, brothers, I want to talk about how a man should move in a world full of low vibrational women. How a man should operate and navigate this world full of 304s, right? Let me say this first, man. If y'all brothers love this type conversation, man, as well as conversation about bettering yourself, being a high level man, reaching the pinnacles of success, man, you definitely want to look into the power circle, bro. For the next 3 days, I might go 4 days, man. I'm going to waive the initiation fees of joining the power circle, and all you got to do is pay the membership fee, and you're in there, bro. So I'll leave a link for the power circle. Also, for those that are interested in taking the ideas in their mind and getting a bag from it, kind of like what I do in my life, what I do in my business, what I've done over the last few years to get my freedom. Exit strategies. Exit strategies right now, man. I'm having it. I got it for $497 until everything is complete. Then it'll go to, I think I got the price at $1,500. So get in at that early bird pricing. All right, I'm done with that, right? How to move in a world full of hoes, brothers? How should we move, man? Because again, like we all understand that it's just gotten to the point, man, where it's like, bro, a lot of men have retreated. A lot of men are saying, you know what, man, I'm just done with women altogether. I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to focus on being angry at women. I want to focus on red pill. And I'm telling you, that's not the answer. Okay, so you telling us what the answer is not, but what is the answer? How should we move? I'm going to tell you this, brothers. The first thing we got to do, man, before we even talk about how we should move, the first thing we got to do, brothers, is heal ourselves, man. We have to heal ourselves. And when I say we have to heal ourselves, what I'm really meaning is these type women couldn't even exist if we weren't doing something to give them life. You know what I'm saying? Like if these women are going around feeding off of certain men, then apparently we as men are doing something incorrect. And a lot of us don't know what that thing is. And for a lot of us, those things are different. So the first thing we must do, man, is heal ourselves. I'll be honest, man, a lot of men are highly attracted to low vibrational women. And a lot of that is going to take you being honest with yourself. But on the other side of that token, a lot of men aren't attracted to low vibrational women, but a lot of men have characteristics or traits or certain mindsets that make them susceptible to entertaining these type women. But it all comes down to the same road, the same road of healing. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing a man must do is sit back, right? He must step back and say, you know what? If I feel like the far majority of women, if I feel like the far majority of my relationships end up being with the same type woman, let me step back first and analyze what I'm seeing in these women. In other words, what common denominator is associated with all these women? And once a man gets that common denominator and extracts it, he has to look at himself. He has to say, you know what? Okay. Apparently, if all women are doing X, Y, Z, then it must be something inside of me that's attracting that. Then he needs to take that information, man, and just look at his life. Look at his life and say, you know what? What part of me is attracting that? Is it the music I'm listening to? Like if I'm listening to the Juicy Reds or whatever their name is, and that's all I consume myself with is XYZ. Even if I don't think it's really hindering me, it's a part of me. If I'm entertained by the OnlyFans type women or women on the hub, like I might watch that stuff every day and move a different way, but it's affecting me. It's become a part of me. A lot of times, man, you got to look at, I'll tell you this, most trauma came from the household. Let's just be honest. You know, whether you grew up with a single parent, whether you grew up with a single mother or a single father, or whether you grew up with both parents. I'm learning now, man, that it really doesn't matter if, not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm saying, like, even if you had both parents in the house, a lot of times you can still come out just as damaged. Because if that relationship wasn't healthy, then you're going to come out just as damaged. Like you have to go back and ask yourself, what did I see in my childhood, or what did I not see? How was daddy moving? How was mama moving? And even if they were together, how are they moving together? Because you got to understand, that's part of your truth. A lot of times us as men will go out and attract a certain woman because that's how mama moved. And women do the same thing with daddy. Like, you got to understand, like your mother is your primary teacher as far as what that nurturing energy should look like, what that wife type should look like. So let's just say your mom was moving reckless. Let's say your mom was down on the street corner, pretty much being a yoni merchant, right? You would see that in on the surface level, know that was wrong. But on a subconscious level, when you get out in these streets and you get grown and you're dating women, if a woman doesn't have those characteristics, you won't even be attracted to her. You won't even be attracted to her. Like, if the woman you saw growing up was very abusive and always, you know, punching on your dad and screaming at men, if a woman doesn't have those attributes, you won't even be attracted to her, bro. So whatever the issue is, whatever that common denominator you find in all those women, you got to own it, and then you got to turn around and look at life and say, where did it come from, bro? Where did it come from? Because if you don't address it, you're going to always get that same thing. You're going to always get that same result. So instead of getting mad saying all women are like that, retreat to the red pill. No, retreat to self. Retreat to self and find out what's inside of you that's jacking that up, bro. Like I'll never not say that the most beautiful thing in the world is when a healthy man and a healthy woman come together. But that's God on so many levels, man. That would take me a whole hour to talk about. So the first thing is heal yourself, man. The second thing is focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I believe that us as men should always be positive role models for the young men coming up behind us. Whether it's the men in their 20s, 30s, teens, we should be role models for those men. These guys are always looking up to us, right? As they should, as we looked up to the men before us. But I'm going to tell you this, brothers. This is one area where I personally feel we need to look back and study the young men. We need to look back and study the young men. You got to understand this, brother. The world, like as far as relationships, it's resetting itself. I've been noticing this for the last couple of years. Me and some of the fathers that I hang with around my house that have kids in school. We kind of all notice this. We kind of all have these conversations around this. And what I mean is this: like, not all, but a lot of the young men now, like my son, for example. My son is 17 years old. Brother, they move different. They move completely different than we did when we were in high school. Like, when we were in high school, man, all we focused on, like the cool guys were the guys that had the girlfriends. Like, it was all about having a girlfriend, walking out of class and da-da-da-da-da and going, you know, like that was the motive, man. Who could have the baddest chick? These brothers nowadays, they focused on self. And a lot of me and the parents, man, a lot of the fathers, we picked this up a couple of years ago, man. We was like, hey, man, these sons, we notice they do a certain thing. And like my son, bro, my son is man, he's just, when I say a stud, bro, he's a stud. He didn't evolve so much in the last 3 or 4 years, man. Swag is on 10. He done got about 6'6", man. He getting gunned up, always smelling good, just cool as I don't know what. Keep his car clean. And I noticed all the brothers he hang with, they all move in a certain energy. Like I said, like back when we were in school, man, it was all about, let's get the girls, let's do XYZ. But they on a whole nother timeline, man. Like when I go to these school events, man, and my son, you know, all his partners out there, man, they all over there in the corner. They got their cars parked up. They all pushing foreigns. They all talking business. Like my son has a small business. My son operates my distribution business for my books, for my book. He owns that. A lot of his friends own hoodie companies. A lot of his friends are doing drop shipping. And they just on a different timeline. And when you walk through the school, man, it's crazy. And this is when it really stuck out to me. Like when my son is walking through the school, man, swagged up, man, he got his braids shining, he on 10. It's like them brothers will just be walking through the halls, man, just you know, and the little girls will be against the lockers, man, just kind of like just staring at them as they walk by, like they're gods. So I say the reset is taking place. Like that's the way it should be. Like we've been trained to think, oh, let's go out and get all these women, go out and get it. Now we're supposed to be walking in a certain statue, and women are supposed to be looking like, how can I get on this man's team? I don't care what women say. If it's not moving like that, it's not healthy. Think about back in the caveman days. You think men were chasing women? Men are coming back with meat on their shoulders and food and all this stuff. You think they're chasing women? No, women was like, I want to get with that gatherer hunter right there. So man, we have to reset this thing, bro. And I'm telling you, look back at these young men. They have it figured out. They have it figured out. The last thing on their mind is getting all these women. And as a result, women are standing on side of lockers, looking at them in awe. So focus on yourself, man. What I mean by that is, I mean a few things. When I say focus on yourself, first, man, like don't be scared to fall in love with some hobbies. Don't be scared to fire this camera up and make some content. Don't be scared to go outside and get lost on hiking trails on the weekend. Don't be scared to be by yourself. Don't be scared to date yourself. Don't be scared to go to movies by yourself. Don't be scared to go to other countries by yourself. Morocco, Dubai, all these nice places. But I'm going to tell you, man, you go to these places by yourself, you will have a blast. You don't have to have a woman in your life, man. And as a result, you moving like that, man, certain caliber women will become attracted to you, man, and begin, you know, and be put in your peripherals, man. So learn to focus on yourself, man. That's one thing that our generation, and I'm really speaking to men 30 and above, that's one thing that we really have to, that's one area we really have to recalibrate in, man. Because a lot of times when we were young, like a lot of our uncles were always talking about, where your girlfriend at? 5, 6, 7 years old. Who your girlfriend? We like, are we supposed to have a girlfriend? You know, we were teenagers, man. Had all these women on our walls and stuff, man. Not today, man. Them brothers are moving like they moving on a whole nother level, man. A whole nother level. So focus on yourself, man. The next thing I would say, man, is be prepared. I want to say this the right way. Be prepared, and ain't the way I really want to say it, but be prepared to live your life solo. In other words, once you've healed yourself, man, once you focus on yourself, prepare for that to be your path for life. Because once you focus on yourself and fall in love with yourself and fall in love with your hobbies, you have to say to yourself, man, you know what? I understand there are some good women in this world. I understand there are some bad women. But regardless of that, if nothing ever pans out in that area of life, I'm prepared to go the whole distance by myself. I'm prepared to fall in love with myself and move solo for life. For life. You have to understand what that does, man. Not only does moving like that raise your level of consciousness so high, because now you in that relationship with Source becomes a marriage within itself. But you have to understand that when you move like that, man, you become so magnetic. You become so magnetic because you got to think about the instinct and intuition of a woman, right? And let's go down to the basics. Like when a man walks in a restaurant or a man walks in a club, a woman knows if you're needy or not. I don't care what you have on. I don't care how cool you walk in. If that energy of I need a woman in my life is coming out of your pores, a woman can smell that before you even walk in a room. And instantly, man, a lot of women on a subconscious level, a man in that energy, she's not attracted. She may think you have a couple of dollars in the bank. You know, you might pull up in a certain whip. You might come in with a certain chain or a certain brand of clothing. And she say, okay, you know what? I see who he truly is. But I'm going to entertain it because I can benefit in some other area. But on the lowest of lowest, man, she knows it. Like, you know what? I can't really vibe with him. That brother's too needy. He's too needy. But when you move in this energy of, I'm prepared to do this thing solo. Like I'm cool by myself until I die if it comes down to it. Brother, you're putting so much of an energetic, magnetic aura out. Women are drawn to that. You gotta look at me. Go back to high school or college, or when you see the guys, man, that go roam the hallways, man, and they have so much disinterest, not disinterest, but they're just not even thinking about entertaining women. Those were the brothers, man, that women were like, hey, you know what? I just at least want to be in his circle of friends. Like, I just want to be close to him. Learn to move through this world by yourself, bro. And that's not on some, oh, well, let's go on our own way and retreat and leave women behind. It's like, no, it's not on some leave women behind. It's like I'm so focused on who I am and where I'm going that even the women that are around me, like, they're so far back burner. Like, the priorities are so far back. And I'm gonna tell you the beautiful thing that happens when you move like that, man. When you move like that, you'll begin to attract more women that at minimum will vibrate in the direction you're going. Do you, as far as like your mission, do you still have to filter some of these women out? Yeah, you still have to. But at least, man, you're not looking at the whole 100% of life's sector of women. It's going to narrow down the women that are in your eyesight, brothers. So that's how a man should move, right? But I want to add this bonus, right? One thing that we as men have to do if we're going to make this whole situation better, because low vibrational women are always going to be around. Like that, it's not like, okay, we gotta fix all these women. No, it ain't no such thing as fixing all these women. A lot of women just make the choices they make and they move the way they move. It is what it is. This is biblical, right? But one thing we got to do, man, to at least preserve the energy of good women is to compliment women that move in a high vibration. Like a lot of times, the reason a lot of women end up getting lost in the sauce and finding themselves, in a Proverbs 5 situation is because they didn't really know that they were moving like gold. And when I say compliment these women, I'm not saying always be getting at these women, but when you see a woman that's moving in a high vibrational, frequency, compliment her, man. If she's dressed modest and you walking by her at the mall, just say, hey, you know what? That dress looks nice. Your hair looks nice. I see that you love yourself enough to wear your hair in its natural state. Like, that looks nice. You can compliment a woman, man, without shooting your shot, bro. You have to understand, man, like everything we do, and this is a whole nother video. I'm not even gonna go down this road. But you have to understand that every single thing you put out is what you put out, is what your life is what comes back to you. Karma, call it what you want to. You gotta understand, man, if you're always putting out good karma, always putting out good vibes toward good women, then you'll start seeing more of that. You'll start seeing more of that, man. So don't be scared, man, to compliment a high vibrational woman that you see. You don't even have to be attracted to her. Hey, you might see a woman on your timeline, man, that's posting a good picture on vacation. It might not be a woman you're even interested in, but say, hey, dang, sister, like, dang, I see you women, you winning, you doing your thing, you looking amazing. Keep doing that, because that's going to create more of that, right? So I just wanted to add that in there, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, us as men just have to know how to navigate in a world full of low vibrational women.